Puerto Rican kid, bald head, loves snakes, loves Blizzy, Sergio Chacon.
Yeah. What up, Pa?
Peace. Welcome to the DBS Podcast. It's your boy Sergio Chacon, a.k.a. Blizzy Chacon. That shit whack. I mean, it's always gonna be Dirtbag Shit Podcast. The DBS Podcast.
Respect due, Paul.
So now he got me this fly shit. It got lighting. Is that too much?
Nah, it looks great, man. Looks great. You look better than me. How you show up to my podcast looking fresher, more professional?
Peace. Come on, man. You know
I said more
forever,
professional, man. More professional than me.
More professional, baby.
It can't even be more. You can't be more professional than me, man.
Can't be more professional than the God.
Yo, just remove that. You got the dildo right behind you. You left it out.
Oh shit! Now I want the people to know what my life, man. I want the people to know the life I'm living.
Yo, they need to know what the real deal is.
Yeah. Hold on 1 second. Let me see if this. Hold on.
This guy got the black leather porno couch. That is the.
Oh no!
Yo, that's quick wipe and move on.
Oh yeah. And it's cropped perfectly because you can't see the laundry on the to the right of me on the couch that I'm folding right now.
I saw a dirty ass ankle sock with the grip in the bottom. No, I know you stole it from the hospital.
Oh yeah. Yo, people don't know that my apartment be clean, but my floor be dirty as the street.
Yo, you allow people to move into your lab with their shoes on?
Yo, you know what? I do, and you know what I mean. I guess I do. I like to be just move around, man.
Yeah. Well, do me a favor.
I hate when I come to someone's house and they like, yo, take your shoes off.
Can you move the mic a little closer? Because there is a crack. It's like going
a little bit. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's it or not.
How's this? A little better? A little better?
I think that's good. So you don't ask that people take off their shoes in the lab?
I don't. You know, maybe because I mean, you know, I don't. I was gonna make up some excuse, but
it could be you just don't give a fuck. You don't lay down on the floor in your crib. You don't have any kids. It's all good.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I like to come in. Now, don't get me wrong. Like if it's raining outside and I'm taking my shoes off, but like I don't know if that makes me any less than a dirty dude. But
yeah,
apartment be clean though. Apartment be clean, but yeah, dude, if you drop something on my floor, you're gonna get Ebola.
My man Dino in the fucking house. I'm happy to see you, brother. This is the official introduction to one of my favorite dudes, the one and only comedian, Mr. Dino Vigo. What's cracking, my dude?
Peace, King.
Hey, are you hearing from our white out-of-town friends? New York is resorting to the old New York. And I shouldn't even say white. Are you hearing? Because that's racist. And I gotta be careful. No one gives a shit. But are you hearing from people that the old New York is coming back? Have you heard that shit?
I have heard that, but they don't know what the old New York was.
Thank you.
The only thing
have no that's similar is, and you tell me, you're all the way in Harlem. I'm all the way Lower East Side. What I'm seeing is a spike in blatant drug use. That's what I'm seeing. Like blatant drug use. I went to a client's house 3 blocks away from me. I see and which, by the way, for people know I'm a personal trainer as well. I don't want them to think I'm a client like I'm delivering drugs. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to a client. And
no, you ain't delivering them. You picking them up.
Yeah. And I know I'm actually on the way to the client's crib, and in the bank, I see a dude with his card out, fully loaded with a bunch of junk. We make eye contact. His toes are out like this, wiggling, and a needle, syringe right in the middle, bang, on the middle of his foot.
Yo, I never understood that, man. The in between the toes, in between the finger thing.
Yeah.
What
I think
is
what
that?
happens is that there's a lot of like visible veins that are running through there. So he probably killed all the ones in his arms. So
Yeah, that just seems so like that. That hurts so much. I don't know if the high is worth it at that point to go.
and
between
he's got to
the
be getting
toes,
like,
bro.
he's got to be getting the bottom of the barrel dirt drugs because he's obviously homeless, living in the street. So I'm working with the client, and I see him because I'm on a terrace working with them, training them, right? And I just see him like limping with his cart, you know. And he goes on with his day. I finish with the client. I pass by the bank, and there's two people who work at the bank just going in. Did you watch Power last night? Just walking into the bank. I'm like,
Just
oh,
walking,
fuck. They have no idea what was going on 15 minutes ago in there. Fucking
Yeah.
gross.
Now the city has regressed. I will say that, but not to 80s level. No way.
Yeah, for sure.
That will never happen. That level of not give a fuck crime, but only just because technology won't ever let that go back. Because back in those days, like you could literally like shoot somebody in the street, and there's a good chance you get away with it. Like, you know what I mean? Like that level of not give a fuck will never come back because of the eye in the sky.
That's a very good point. It is much harder to commit a crime like that because of surveillance.
Yeah.
No doubt. It's funny, right? Because, and also you're thinking, I'm thinking when people say, oh, it's old New York. Now, old New York, it's like whole neighborhoods, like New York as a whole was thriving off of criminal activity. That's not going on right now. There's like small time drug peddlers and gang members in pockets of neighborhoods.
For organized crime is kind of gone. You
Right.
know what I mean? There's no more like mafia like that. I mean, at least that I know of. Like people ain't scared of that no more. Like it's that word, that time is a time. That's like saying like, the seven, any time it's gone. That time is gone. This old New York is good. This is a new fucked up New York. It's different.
Yeah, but it's not old New York. It's a new
It's not
fucked
old
up
New York.
York.
It's new fucked up New York.
It's true. It's that's exactly right. I like the fact that you brought up surveillance because you're right. I mean, and if you commit a crime, there's violent crimes are spiking up and everything, but they are getting pulled. Like a lot of these guys don't get away with that shit.
No. Yeah, 'cause people are broke. People are fucked up. There is crime.
That mic, my bad. It's just cracking a little bit. I'm not sure if it's the
bad,
mic.
son.
Maybe we'll do it without it. I don't know.
You want me to? How would I do that?
Can you hear it?
Take it off.
Yeah, let's give that a try. Just take it off and
If I'm holding it, is it a little better if I'm holding it?
No.
Nah,
It's,
all right,
it's just
cool.
staticky.
Yeah, it's some shitty ass Bluetooth. So let me try and
Yeah.
pause that or some shit. Let me all right. I know.
Yeah, but right back in the days, you had
You hear me better?
yeah,
Oh, now what I got to do? You
I think it's okay. You sound obviously further away.
you still there?
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me or no?
Hold up.
Yeah.
I can't hear you. You in the here we hold up. Boom, you hear me?
Yeah. You can hear me?
Boom. Yeah, I'm good money now.
All right, that sounds great. Oh yeah, that sounds
right.
real good.
My bad. Start over. We are welcome to the new DBS podcast, people. Peace.
And that's the thing, because it's called the Dirtbag Shit Podcast, I get away with all that shit.
Okay.
I just leave it.
Okay, good. I'm
leave
just afraid that was too much of a pause in between. It was like 30 seconds. We good.
I don't care. I should care. Yo, I don't care. I just upload it. Sometimes I have my editor, clean something out. Sometimes he forgets. Sometimes I forget to give him the timestamp. And that's what it is. I just move on. I go on my day confidently. No, I didn't even like podcasting, but I'm so fucking good at it. I got to give it to the people.
Yeah. It's nothing.
It's nothing. Cameron voice.
It's nothing. Nothing with 2 F's. Yo, it's nothing.
It's nothing.
It's nothing. It's nothing. 2 F's, baby.
Yo, I'm going to ask you a question. It's a loaded question, though, and take your time, because all we have is time. We got to appreciate the time. 10 favorite rap albums. Go, because you are an avid hip hop listener like myself, and in this world of craziness, we got to just kind of go in the archives real quick, and you're gonna tell me some albums that moved you, that were pivotal moments in your life, that were a good recording of the times. Go ahead, Pop.
Okay. Well, in no order.
We'll go back and forth. You give me one, I'll give you one.
Yeah. In no order.
In chronological order. This 10.
Exactly. So I'm just going what comes to my head right away. So this might be number 1 because it comes to my head right away. But Illmatic.
For sure.
Complete work. I mean, that's well regarded as one of the best albums of all time. Period in any genre. Complete body of work, 1 through, what is that? It was only like 9 or 10 songs on there, right?
Yeah.
So I was talking hip hop album. So off the top, it is Illmatic.
Wait. Let's hold up on Illmatic. So Illmatic, everyone knows the God MC, fucking Nas, really inspired by Rakim. There was a lot of comparisons between the 2 rappers.
Nas is definitely the evolution of Rakim. There is no Nas without Rakim.
Right, and a lot of people have stated that album was like, it was a surveillance in the hood. It caught everything going on, and it was dope. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, and also he's the evolution of Rakim in so many ways. Like, definitely, like, he did surveillance of the hood, like he painted a picture, but he also took like risks that I like. When I always will remember listening to, and it's not even on that album. This is the first time I heard Nas live at the barbecue. When he was like, "I went to hell for snuffing Jesus" and all that stuff, and I was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, that shit was dope.
Yeah.
I listened to that track the other day.
One of my favorite songs.
Which, by the way, I'm not gonna say. Remember that song? There was like 5 MCs at Live at the Barbecue.
Yeah. Akinele, Large Professor, Nas, and others.
Yeah. So put it like this: one of the others, I was at a club. I would say 3 years back. This is a dirtbag story, and we'll get back to. I was at a club like 3 years back, and the Beatnuts are playing. They're doing like a 20-minute set. So my boys from
Beatnuts.
Yeah.
Beatnuts, underrated.
Yeah, so I see one of those MCs at Live at the Barbecue. I won't say his name, right? But he wasn't one of the ones you mentioned. Chrissy Snow from Three's Company. Yo, so I'm online about to go to the bathroom. Boom. And he's like, yo, my man, I was online. And I was like, oh, it's fine. I didn't see there was like 2 different separate lines. So he was anxious to get to the bathroom. It wasn't a big deal. It was fine. I was like, oh, cool. So he goes to the bathroom. I go to the bathroom. The bathrooms were divided by like a plexiglass, a smoked plexiglass, right?
Yeah. You have every time I listen to your podcast, at least the last one, you have several bathroom stories.
Yeah, because I used to like the bathroom. But I wasn't messing around the bathroom this time. But check it out. So I'm in the bathroom, and maybe I told the story. I don't know. I repeat myself a lot. I'm getting old, Pop. You see the grays? Look at the grays.
Yeah, I don't see them. They blend in.
I used a little Sharpie before I saw you. I got to look sexy for the guard. So check it out.
I got a beard question after that. Go ahead.
You'll never have a majestic beard like the guard. So
no, I won't. I will not. I mean, you taking shots at me, but like I will not.
So yo, I'm taking the piss, and what I see, 2 hands on the plexiglass. I'm like, yo, like it looks like the rocks are like this. And then I see a plastic bag, and then I see a key. Gung, 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 gung. Yo.
Oh.
just breaking up mad blow like that. I go out, we meet like right outside. We both meet outside of the hallway. He's like, yo, what up? What's good, Pop? Yo, he goes up, he does live at the barbecue.
Zooted.
Yo, and Juju from Beat Nuts was like hosting like that segment of the show before they did the set. He's like, yeah, our man is fucked up tonight, but he said, yeah, some of us come a little unprepared, and
he took shots at him.
He took shots. That was his man. He was fucking around. It was like you or me bombing on stage.
He wasn't doing well.
It was fine, but I guess people could tell. Like he could tell. I thought it was fine. I didn't see that. I really didn't notice, and I was like, but I didn't see. But he was like, yeah. I think it was more his ad libs. He was doing extra ad libs before the other MCs. I think it was a little better than that. But it was hilarious. It was fucking.
That's funny.
Like you get this pocket of individuals, Lost Professor, all these guys, and then this guy's like at a club that I'm at after doing a set at Eastville, taking bangos to the nose. Verse, I live at the BBQ.
Hilarious.
But one thing I'll say about Illmatic was the production and was good. And it was very soulful, but one of the few albums that had multiple producers on it, but it sounded consistent for the album.
They say that Nas is one of the first or the first people that changed. You good?
Yeah, my bad.
They say that Nas is one of the first people that started that. So before that, it was one producer kind of like, worked with the story, worked with the artist, and it was a complete work with that producer. Like they say, Illmatic is the first album that started that, collab of super producers, instead of one person like tailoring like the whole piece of work. They say that it's better to have one producer, honestly.
I like the idea of one producer because when the chemistry between producer and artist clicks, it makes for a good body of work.
And they make a whole body of work. I mean, but that's whatever they did worked.
Whatever they did was exceptional. Whatever they did worked. Whatever they did, I don't think could be redone ever again. That.
So he started that, but then other people took it, and then that you saw like albums that didn't really work together in different.
We saw that many of times because people were just looking for a hit, and also, when you have like a superstar producer and an MC or whatever or a singer, it just seems like this is a great beat, sing over it. That doesn't seem like the chemistry. It doesn't even seem like they were in the room.
It's funny because it probably ruined rap in a lot of ways.
Yeah, for sure.
Because then you had like the super producer and producers being more popular than the actual artist. Like, and then like now, like you hear a song and you hear like, like the producer will have their little thing, like, new money or whatever the fuck, Mike Will or whatever. Like, oh, that's this guy. This has got to be a good song because it has that little, whatever it is. And, but we can talk about
that's a very hip hop thing. To put your stamp on it. Like, that's a very hip-hop thing. I remember I had a barber, and it's funny because the last episode was talking about barbers, and this guy, without my permission, he would put a V right here, like a triangle.
No.
Like, he did that, and he was like, that's my shit. I was like, what's that? I would get the half moon, and then he put like a triangle here. I'm like, what is that? He's like, let them know. V guy.
It's the mark of the beast.
I'm like, why would you put his name was Juan. Like there was,
hold up, and he kept it there.
Yeah, I had a fucking like a triangle right here,
bro. That's
like for 2 haircuts, and I was like, and then I would go home and then shave it off.
You was his bitch.
But that's the equivalent of like having his name like on my lower back.
For real, that's funny. You walk around, yo, Sergio went to Juan.
Yo, and it looked like a V, and his name was Juan. I'm like, yo, this shit makes no sense.
Yo, you would go to another barber and get your haircut, and they would see the mark and be like, oh, nah, man, I can't cut you, bro. That's Juan.
Right.
Yeah, that's Juan, son. It's going to be beef. You know, Juan pissed, he peed on your head.
For real, basically. Like, I'm
That's
paying
funny.
him to promote him.
I'm surprised you let that go.
I let it rock. I let it rock like 2 times over. It definitely happened more than once, I believe. If I remember correctly.
Yeah.
But I remember going home and I'm taking this shit off.
Yeah,
Because it was basically like a high fade. It was like a fade, right? But then he left a little bit like a thing right here.
Yeah, that's funny, man.
And from afar, it just looked like he missed a spot.
That's good marketing for him, but that's like goofy
No
shit for
one's,
you, though.
no, it's not. No one's looking at that shit like they don't look like they got the puff of hair.
That's funny.
Yeah, so definitely Nas, no features on the song except for AZ.
And possibly one of the best verse on the album was somebody else. Like,
yeah. It's crazy that AZ never hit the heights that we expected, right?
Yeah. And I don't understand that.
I know. It's just some people just don't hit. Like,
it's just one of those things, man. You can't. I mean, I saw some like documentaries and then I heard his stories and
I saw it too, and it was good, but it just it represented him well. It was like a BET thing, and I was like, oh,
it's just what that is a perfect that's just art, period. Like you have some people just, it's your team, it's your management, it's the label, it's the politics. It's just like in comedy, man. Some of the funniest comedians that anyone would ever hear, nobody knows. Not saying that no one knows AZ. The world, if you know him, I mean, people know AZ, but like he did not obviously have the commercial success as Nas. But I mean, you could ask anybody in the world and he's up there. He's top 10 or I mean, whatever. Like, he is a beast. So that's just the luck of the draw, man. And at the end of the day, man, the dude was able to, I mean, he's still around. He made a living with his art. I'm sure he lives in a nice little condo in Jersey somewhere. You know what I mean? Like he has
all rappers live in Jersey, right?
Yeah. He's touring the world. He was just on Nas's last album. I'm sure he got a little check. Like he's making a living with
and
his
it's
art.
fine,
So,
right?
Yeah.
But so what's interesting that we talk about that, and that's just the way it is. And there's more of that than the guys who pop. There's more of that.
Of course, the numbers most people don't make.
Most people, right? And I think when faced with that sort of situation,
but he made it.
Yeah, he made it. Absolutely.
Don't ever say he did not make it.
No, absolutely.
You know what I mean? He made it. He just didn't make it to the level of Nas.
Right.
There's only one Nas.
Right. So I saw, which kind of brings me to the point of, and we'll get to the other classic hip hop albums. I saw a snippet of Mike Geronimo. Remember Mike Geronimo from Queens? And I saw him.
Nori mentions him a lot in his podcast.
Yeah, I saw him. And they're all Queens cats. And which, by the way, this is funny too. There was a record label on West, like 3rd Street and Broadway. Yeah. And I used to see them all the time. And he was mad tall. I was like 18 years old. I had my Columbia raincoat, with a Kango, and I saw him. He looked at me mad hard. I was like 18 years old. He must have been like 25, 30. And he looked at me like this.
Yeah.
And I was like that. I was like,
He's definitely someone that if you were like back then, you were like, oh, he's about to blow. Like, he's dope. You know what I mean? Like,
nasty.
Yeah. And then if you listen to the Nori podcast, whatever, like they always talk. There was this record label, I forgot what it was called, but anybody on that record label, like they kind of he got caught up in the politics and like they had to sue. This guy would like never let anyone off the label, and
do you know the name of that person?
Fuck.
Because I think he was mad. There was a snippet on the Drink Champs podcast, and he was mad. And they're drinking, and they're probably drinking dark liquor, so the emotions come up. That's his platform, to really say what he wanted to say. But he sounded so, I don't want to say bitter, but he still sounded so
If
angry.
you listen to the Pitbull episode, which was a dope episode. But all those, that's a dope podcast.
Right.
It's funny. But, I mean, the interviews go off the rails, but
Yeah.
So Pitbull was actually on that label, and he one of the guys he sued that guy and won.
Wow.
And he was one of the guys to like escape that label, but most didn't. And it was some guy. He was a lawyer, and that's why, you know, like he was so like a beast with the business and like jerked a lot of artists because like his sue game was crazy. He would sue anybody. Like if his artist did a song with someone else, he would sue that other person, and like he would just sue everybody.
He would just make a fucking mess. It's a complete pain in the ass.
Exactly, but Pitbull reversed it and sued him, and somehow won.
Which, by the way, and before we go off the rail, Pitbull, a lot of people don't know this. He was a Miami rapper that was a battle rapper. Like I heard early shit, and I was like, "Yo, this kid spits." And I was like, "Who's this Cuban kid?" This is like early 2000, and they just crossed over.
And shit.
Yeah, but he was a battle rapper. Like he was like, he was nasty.
That's how.
It.
Yeah, he was definitely like trying to get in the mold of like the East Coast New York. Like he was rapping. Yep. And then he said it. He did some song in DR with some Dominican. He was in DR and he was heard some song and like he remade it, and then it was like that was it. And he just saw that was his exposure to the world. And everyone was telling him like, "Yo, you might not be able to come back, you know what I mean, to the streets after that." But like, and he didn't have to. Like, he like, yo, he's literally like an icon now.
Yeah. So yeah, Nas, classic. A lot of production by New York producers: Pete Rock, Q-Tip, just to name a few. Large Professor. East Coast, West Coast, globally, that album is the shit. It's a little slice of New York in the 80s and 90s, and it's a great depiction of fucking old, gritty New York rap with a prolific storyteller. So props to Nas for that classic. What would you say is another one? And that's part of my top 10, obviously.
Yeah. So two in my brain right now at the moment. I don't know what to say first. Outkast, Aquemini,
Woo!
And of course, me and you. You know, this is also what I was saying. You know, because the guards, you know, you gotta have the guards on there. You know, 36 Chambers.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Come on. 36 Chambers, man.
I mean, like, that's one of those albums.
That's a whole episode of the podcast.
Yeah, it really is.
Episode.
You
really need to have a Wu-Tang episode.
Yeah. I mean, 36 Chambers changed. Yo, that shit changed my life.
I know. Listen, we talk about it. Like, I must say, I would love to say I'm like this big Wu-Tang fan, which I am, but like you.
Yeah, I love the Wu.
You are a degree ahead of me with the.
I love Wu. I mean, I think I know that the album front to back, because it's one of those things that, I mean, you're listening to rap, and then there's this album that drops out of nowhere that's just so courageously creative, but grimy. And
amazing.
Like, you don't know where their sound is really from. It got kung fu.
That is the album to me. They changed rap the most. Yeah. I think.
The fact that there was 9 members and they all popped. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were all. You know how many groups like you just know one guy? Like 9 of these guys had their own.
Wu-Tang is almost a religion.
Yeah.
Like, it's just crazy. Yo, you know what else it was to me? You know, I mean, I don't know if they were trying to be this, but like the shit was comedy, man.
Yeah, it was. There were. So I would say this. It almost feels, and correct me if I'm wrong, that's what happens when you give creative control to the artist. Like, because I don't think a lot of people were messing with them like that. I think a lot of people were like, "What's this kung fu skits about? Why is one like kind of sing rapping? I don't get it." You you know, what is Wu-Tang Clan? Like they, you know, there was a lot of things that didn't mesh with what was going on during that time.
They were a group. Yo, I don't know how they did this. Became so cohesive, and they were so different individually.
Yes,
like
none
of those guys are the same, and like somehow they came together, and it was like, what? How is this?
And props to Richard for being able to do that. That's like leadership. Like, you know how it is? I mean, we were in a group. We were in a comedy group called the Five Mics. You know how hard it is to get people together and work on individual projects?
Oh, yeah. That's why the shit doesn't exist.
That's why it lasted 6 months. But we had a good time. But you know, these guys, I mean, the production, RZA, from beginning.
Well, you gotta give it all to RZA, man.
And they were, and I'm not. This is not my original statement. I've heard it time and time again, but it was like they were trying to out-battle each other in that album. I mean, this is a fucking gritty album. It sounds like pans are being hit. It sounds like water being dripped onto the floor. It's a fucking dope.
And just the characters, they were characters, man. Like in a good way. Like the skits. They was saying like, listen, they just put the New York, like you almost to me like, you know, they were like, they just personified like the New York dude that just came home. You know what I mean? And like was into that. Like, that I just was used to be like, yo, that's I know that guy. Right, but he was funny to me. He was so funny.
It was beautiful, dark, funny art, and all like embodied into rappers, right? We don't have that now. And if we have that, please, like, let me know where it's at. Like, I keep an ear up.
We don't have it. The closest thing right now, I don't know. I'm going to ask if you're up on these dudes. And like, I cannot, it's, you know, we're in a new era. Like, so I can never like love these dudes like I love Wu-Tang. But right. You know, when I do hear these dudes, they do bring me to that time a little. It reminds me of that time. And they actually are they work with Wu-Tang members a lot. You know, I just saw they were shooting a video, but you know, are you aware of Griselda?
Yes, from Buffalo.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're Wu-Tang-ish. They're 90 throwback-ish, 2000 throwback-ish. They're very street, whatever. And like I joke about it, but I think the reason why they were able to capture that is because like, you know, they from Buffalo and shit and like way upstate to it. And I think like time hadn't caught up to them yet. So they just reaching that time that's been gone. Like it's like a time capsule up there, man.
Yeah, interesting. Well, Buffalo is fucking gully.
Grimy as fuck. Like they just got the internet, bro.
So okay.
You heard what I said?
What was that?
I said they just got the internet.
Yeah. Yeah, those motherfuckers are still moving around with shaved eyebrows.
Yo, for real. So like they just catching up to Wu-Tang, so that's why they sound like that.
Yeah. That's a good point. I have to listen to more of them. I'm not up on them.
They dope. I like them. They dope. They're very, very. I mean, I listen to them and I'm kind of like, what the fuck am I doing listening to these fucking cats? I'm 40 plus.
I'll tell you what turns me off, and this is me judging a book by its cover. Whenever I see like a rapper and their album cover is them in a sling with a Scarface blazer on and they got the gun, it's like, dude, we haven't done that shit a million times over. So I think maybe one of their mixtapes or albums had that like cover of like Scarface, and I'm just like, dog.
You mean they just mimicking the Scarface?
Yeah, and it was one of them, and maybe it was. They're a group, right? But they have individual projects, right?
It's almost like it's three of them. Maybe it's more. Like maybe it's like more. But
so one of them, I think it was Benny the Butcher. One of them, and I don't know for sure, but he had like a Scarface theme going on, and I was turned off by it. Like that turned me off.
Yeah, that's obviously been done 1,000 times.
Dog,
unless he's just paying tribute to something that he loved.
Oh God, it's just so hacky that it's really hard for me to even like get past that. You know,
That's funny.
it really is. It's like it's hacky. It's like it's been done. Not to say that represents the body of work and creativity be deeper than the cover. But once I seen that cover, I was like, oh God, how many times have I seen that shit? You know.
Yeah.
But you're not the first person. A lot of people tell me that, yo, Sergio, you would like them. So I definitely want to give that a listen. Yo,
Yeah, give him a try.
Aquemini, that was Outkast's second album. And that's a banger for sure, man.
Banger. Not to mention, like, they have like 3 or 4 classics to me.
Yeah.
But Aquemini is the one that I guess really, really I rocked with them on the first album. It was dope. But that when Aquemini
Aquemini was just so creative, and it just touched on everything. I mean, it was a special album. Nothing sounds like it.
Yeah. They are the down south. I know just disrespecting them in no way, but like they're like the down south Tribe Called Quest.
Yeah, I've heard that before, and that makes sense. That's a great comparison. But also, they were ahead of their time. You can listen to that album now.
Ahead of their time,
Yo,
man.
like Dogs. You listen to that. They have this song, and I believe it was on that album called Synthesizer, and they were talking about that, like pretty much the internet and present day, and how we can allow ourselves to succumb to being on the computer and virtual reality and all this shit that we were tapping into back in the late 90s, early 2000s. And that song represents a lot of what's going on right now.
I mean, that just shows you like the visionaries.
Yeah, for real. That album is super creative. It's a dope album. I can listen to that album from beginning to end. I've always liked Andre more than Big Boy.
I mean, that's why I say Tribe Called Quest, because like, I mean, everyone you think Tribe Called Quest, even like, you know, Q-Tip is Tribe Called Quest. Now, I'm saying that Fife is not. Fife was dope in his own way, but like Q-Tip is just like Andre is the person that stood out. But Big Boy was dope. They just matched so together. That's why it was like they very similar to Tribe Called Quest in that way.
Yeah.
And also like so different in their own way. And definitely, I kind of don't want to do that to them because it's so like their own thing. But
yeah, no, I get it.
But here's the thing. Andre is as good as Big Boy is. He's a great rapper. But Andre he's in my top 5.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, you got an NBA player and you're an all-star. That's great. You know, you're an all-star. And then you have, but you play with LeBron though.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you're an all-star. That's awesome. But like you play with LeBron.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I like the fact that Andre 3000 he's not putting out shit just to put it out when he's good and ready.
Yeah, he completely is like, he's like a Renaissance man.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like I've seen him at Mendez Boxing Gym, and it's so crazy to see somebody who's so good at one thing and then, you know, just training, not, you know, just very ordinary at another. You know what I'm saying? Like you hold them in such high regard. I'm like, oh my God, your music is so swift, powerful, the timing, the speed of it, everything. And then like you see them boxing, and it's like, oh, like you're a regular dude. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not a superhero.
Yo, we have. You know what's funny? Like I just remember this just right now. I met him one time, like 10 seconds. And I spoke to him because in the street, he was in the street. I was in Cancun with this way back, like when they first came out, whatever, and we have the same birthday.
Oh wow!
Right, or maybe his is a day or before.
Like, Andre, we have the same birthday.
Yo, son, that's what I did. But I didn't know. So the reason why I knew that it was his birthday party.
Oh, dope.
So like we was in Cancun, you know, Memorial Day weekend, and I was out there like 20 deep, hood fest or whatever.
Yeah.
And
fun.
It was Andre, 3000 birthday party, whatever. And so we went to the party. You know, we didn't give a fuck about Andre 3000 birthday party. We want to see some hoes. And I saw him out in front of the birthday party, like on the street, just chilling. Like,
I know.
And then we just was like next to each other. I said, yo, it's my birthday too. And he was like, oh, happy birthday, brother. Like, that's my little 10-second Andre 3000. So I forgot. I just remember that just now that I met him.
That's crazy. And it's like, so before everything went, it's so, it's so. Like,
you know, if it was now and I was a fucking 22-year-old kid, I'd be like, oh, can I get a picture for the gram?
Yeah, right. I know. A lot of that stuff is just left out.
I would have put in the thing #best friends.
Right. And he was young when you're talking about 20 years ago, probably.
Yeah, he maybe a year older than me or a year younger than me or whatever.
Yeah.
It was like I was like 23, 4. You know what I mean?
Give me number 4. Give me the 4th favorite album.
Oh, well, like I said, no order, but another one that comes into my mind, which this is probably the one that would be on no one else's list, but like it affected me, like how Wu-Tang affected you.
Yo, dogs, Wu-Tang affected me so much that I changed the way I dressed and started talking for a long period of time. To this day, I'm still fucking with the Wu-Tang dialogue. Peace, dog. Peace. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. And this did that for me. I don't know if it made me change what I was talking, but it definitely like changed like the things I was into and put me on like this kind of path. Brand Nubian, one for all, whatever that Brand Nubian's first album.
Interesting. That's an interesting choice. So you're talking about that's a classic album, One for All.
One for All, Brand Nubian.
I know that track. I don't know the album though.
Oh yeah, I know that whole. It's dope.
They were like pro-black, right? They were like pro-black, like Public Enemy style.
Pro-black, very the 5% Nation and all that, and that like I was just so enamored by that talk, and they pro-black and like that was the height of that time, and you also remember, Puba was top 5 back then.
Yeah, with 360 Degrees.
Grand Puba was top 5 back then, so that's why I like them.
I saw Grand Puba last year, last year, and he was doing like a loft party that I imagine like a dude like Capone will be hosting. Like it was that sort of like mid-age.
I've seen him recently in the last year or two. He looked a little nuts.
Who, Grand Puba?
Yeah.
Yeah, yo, dogs. It was definitely like a loft party. I could see one of our like dudes like talent hosting or working at. It was like a loft party like that with that age group and that body of people. And I see Grand Puba, walking out. The dude looked like fucking. He looked like Governor Patterson. Remember Governor Patterson? He looked blind, dog.
Yo, his face was like big and like he definitely looked like
Sharpay.
Yeah.
He's like a dog from China.
Yeah, that's the
a dog from China was blind that needed a seeing eye dog.
Yeah, he looked a little crazy.
Dogs, he looked fucked up. I was like, dog, he wasn't even one of these rappers that we knew of not taking care of himself.
He definitely looked like, yo, why is my favorite rapper in a loft party?
Yeah, with a cane.
Yeah.
And he looked like he said, I need to do my set early because I can't stay up past 9:30.
I got to take my medication.
Yeah, it looked bad, bro. And I'm making fun of him, but I felt bad for him. I was like, God damn.
Still rocking Hilfiger, baggy, double X.
Oh, I love that song though. Yeah. Grand Puba Stunt Biggie and Alamo. Yeah. Say New York City.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting you bring up Brand Nubian and One for All. Lord Jamar recently.
Lord Jamar. He has had a second coming,
And he's good at what he does. I like listening to him. I don't agree with 80% of what the motherfucker says.
Yeah, he was, he be saying he has some views.
Yo, he's smart. He's like, what is Black Lives Matter?
For real?
I don't know what Black Lives Matter is. But what I know hold up.
To his credit, is like, what is it?
Well, those are good questions, but
Yeah.
it's just funny the way he like continues that. He was like, so Vlad. Last I heard, Lives Matter was created by lesbians. I'm like, what? So
That's
he'll go off and say things that
Yo,
are.
are you aware that he doesn't fuck with Vlad no more?
Yeah, I heard about that.
They canceled him. Him, Godfrey, like a bunch of my son, like they canceled him.
Yeah, what's interesting about it, like Vlad, it was cheap entertainment for me. I like the fact that I saw dudes that we enjoy. You know, dudes. I love watching Godfrey on there. Godfrey,
That's why you tune in because of the guests. Yeah.
Exactly. I never really liked Vlad. I liked the fact that he had a nice catalog of guests. 50% I didn't know who they were, but I didn't like the fact that it definitely was exploiting the culture.
The thing is, like, even when you didn't know the guests, sometimes you would click to be like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
You know,
but it was always, you know, if you allowed it, it was super negative. It was, you know, he wanted the juice on
he was he's had a lot of, you know, beef, people trying to come and like, you know, like he always went for like, you know, like they said he snitched, you know, dry snitched or whatever. He would put people's business out there and stuff.
But to his defense, I will say that he's asking questions. The person being interviewed, you know, he's kind of like allowing these motherfuckers to like dig holes for themselves because the smaller ones are not doing that. Yeah, the smaller ones are. MC8 goes on there, and I feel like it's a good representation of himself. Lord Jamar goes in there, says his piece. Godfrey. So these mature, you know, personalities, smarter dudes get off, you know. But other people, others, they come across as like just kind of it comes across as very kind of gossipy and cheap, like very cheap, you know.
Yeah.
But Lord Jamar, Brand Nubian. So what was the whole album basically like a pro-black Public Enemy style, or was it?
I mean, they had some other songs on there, like but it was definitely 80% pro-black. They had like maybe like their attempt at a party song, but I mean, it was so dope.
That song "Punks Jump Up to Get Beat Down" was that?
No, that's not on there. That's on there when it was just Sadat X and when Pooh-Bah left them.
Oh, Pooh-Bah was down with them. I didn't know that.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought Grand Pooh-Bah was one separate group and he
No, that album that I'm talking about, Brand Nubian, is Grand Pooh-Bah, Sadat X, and Lord Jamar.
I thought Grand Pooh-Bah was like the group Stun Doogie and Alamo. Like that was like the Grand Pooh-Bah.
No. They left. So, and Alamo was in the group too, but you know, he's their DJ. So it's the four of them. That's Brand Nubian. But then Pooh-Bah was an artist before them also. He was Grand Pooh-Bah. So he was already an established artist, you know, had an album, I guess, or had songs, had a deal. But Brand Nubian is them. And then, you know, they broke up, or Pooh-Bah, they didn't break, Pooh-Bah left to do his own solo stuff. Then later on, they had another album, which was good, whatever, but like Pooh-Bah left, and then it was Brand Nubian was just Sadat X and Lord Jamar. And they had an album with some good songs and that one hit, Punk Step Up to Get Beat Down.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man, if that qualifies for a classic album, though. I just don't know.
But you didn't hear the album.
I didn't hear the album. Yeah.
It had Slow Down.
Oh, that's a dope track.
Yeah.
Maybe I just don't like. Maybe I'm being hard on the album. I haven't heard it, but also.
But once again, I told you that's just on there because it affected me.
Yeah.
It was in that time. Was just like, you know.
And I can, you know, Lord Jamar is an intelligent dude. Like I said, I don't agree with a lot of what he says, but I like those questions, you know, that he raises. You know, what is and who is Black Lives Matter? And I like the fact that those questions need to be raised by a black person, because a lot of people don't know. They just jump on the wagon. The fact of the matter is, it was created you know, shortly after Eric Gardner during that time, you know, to combat police brutality. And chapters all over the world raised the flag. So it's a resistance movement against police brutality and oppression. But there's not one leader. And we're used to having like one singular leader. And we haven't had a black leader or a Latino leader for some time, because times have changed and there's pockets.
I wonder why that is, that we don't have somebody who's the face of that. And I think that's why they have, like, I guess the problems that they have, or, you know, some people don't identify with it. It's like, who do we look to? Like,
I think there's many different people. I mean, you know, a source of information could be a social media voice for some, which there's a lot of controversy surrounding this dude. It's funny, you know, Giannis always makes fun of him, but Sean King, people give him shit because they're like, is he black? Is he white? What does he identify with? Listen, I don't know too much of what like his physical makeup is. I do know that he reports shit. You know, he's a source of news, and when his language allows me to be interested in exploring it further. So
he's also a mystery too. I see him. All I just see is like reposts. I don't follow him, but I just see repost. Yeah. Sean King. So
like, he gets a lot of shit. He gets a lot of shit. He's a civil rights activist. But the controversy quickly is that he's a white person saying that he's black, like his father was black. But there's like no proof of that or whatever. And
there's no proof?
Well, yeah, I don't know if he submitted like.
He's not. He's not a Rachel Dolezal.
That's some people have compared him to that. You know,
because like people could look at me and question my blackness or whatever, but like I got receipts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know if he submitted the receipts, dog.
I can show you. I can show you my fucking dark-skinned black daddy holding me.
Yeah, it's weird. It's fucking weird if he's like, if both parents are white, and then.
Are you serious?
I don't know. Like, I don't know.
So what is he saying? Like his grandfather was black?
He's saying that his mother was white, but that she, I believe the story is his mother was white, but then she had an affair with and he quotes light-skinned black man. So, and that's his father. And he learned about that.
If that is the case, you should not question his blackness. If his father was black, you know, light-skinned, dark-skinned, whatever, it is what it is. But that's hilarious.
It is hilarious. That's even an issue. But I kind of.
But his parents who raised him were white.
I believe so. Yeah.
And
he learned about that years later.
Wow.
But he always identified with black culture. He went to a black college, you know. So, you know, he's very much. But
let me tell you, I will say this about that though. If you notice, like, there is a lot of the most pro-black people in our history have been very light-skinned people, right? And my theory is that, and I have this experience, is that because they see, I'm privy to some of the most racist things that I said and seen has been around white people that really like let their guard down around me. And like, you know, like for instance, like if you're a dark-skinned black person, you're raised by like in a black family, like when you're home, like you're not dealing with racism. Like in your family, it's everyone's black. You know, it's you don't see that. But when you're light-skinned or mixed like I am, and like even in your own family, like it never goes away. You see how you're different all the time. You see the things that you see, some of the evils that a dark-skinned person won't see when they're home. You know,
right?
Like
right.
you have that's your rest haven. You know, your security is when you go home. But like when you're mixed or whatever, and you go home and you have these, you're different all the time.
Right. That's interesting. Yeah. That's interesting. It would be hilarious if it came out and that it was proven that both parents are white. You know the thing
That's
is
amazing.
That I love the way he speaks. I like I do believe that he's a little bit of a reactionary, meaning everything that comes out, he will post it real quick, and he didn't necessarily crack those cases, but he's sharing it with his 1 million followers.
I always question in these days of the internet, like, who's looking for likes and follows and clickbait.
So listen, this is the thing, man. With someone like me, and you got to be wary and careful. What I gotten is a source of information, and then I explored further. I explored a little further.
Always do your checks, man.
And I like the way he speaks. It's easily listening. It's not super hyper political jargon. So I like the way he speaks. He kind of, it's kind of like it's kind of, you know, he got a hip hop vibe to him. Those are like his genre. People like Killer Mike and all the, you know. So it's a level of
fuck with Killer Mike.
Now, Killer Mike is one of my fucking favorite people to listen to.
I fuck with him, man.
You know, so that's where I got to get my news from. I'm not saying that I'm only listening to people who look, smell, and behave like me or whatever, but it's also like the information is transferred and a little more digestible. Like if I'm listening to Biden or something, I'm not gonna relate to an old white guy who's acting like he can relate to us.
Bro, do not get me started on this Biden.
You know, so
shit,
yeah. I mean, and we won't even touch on too much because we're breaking down the albums. But it's just like I like to get my information like that, and then I'll do what I want with it. I'm not immediately, but it's like I like to get it like that, broken up and shared that way. You know.
Yeah.
So what's number 5? What's number the 5th album?
Well, here's 2 more, and you can kind of see like where my personality is going with these albums, kind of, you know, how I was affected. There's a theme. So the next 2 that just popped in my head, not necessarily no order, but The Roots.
Okay.
I guess it's a.
This guy got mad self-righteous with me. I
yeah. So that's what I'm saying. You see where I'm going with this. The Roots, and it's definitely a time thing. See, here was the thing. When I was at this time of I think anyone's most favorite work is what I call your formative years. Like, your favorite album is going to be from when you're 16 to like 22. And that time, that's where most of your favorite stuff, the stuff that formed who you are. Yeah. So when I was in my formative years, the culture was going this 2 ways. You had your gangster rap, you know, your NWAs and all that stuff. And then you had the next people who I'm about to say, you had your Public Enemies and your Brand Nubians and your Tropical Quest. So like I went that way. I went to the backpacker. That's what caught my eye and my ear. Right. So the next 2, like I said, this is popping in my head.
You're like a conscious, you're a smart dude. You're also a disciplined dude. Like you don't drink, you don't do drugs. You never have. You've never been interested in that stuff.
Never have, man.
You never been, and that's like a unique thing about you that that's admirable, that you never succumb to that. And your friends, because I'm one of them, did that shit. So you were never influenced by any of that shit.
No. It is a little side bit fact. Recently, I became a drug addict.
During COVID?
Literally during COVID. But I mean, listen, I probably did it like 4 times. Like I took a piece of an edible.
Oh, okay.
I'm obviously, you know, exaggerating.
Yeah, no, but so what were the effects of it? Did you like it, or is it something?
I had both experiences. So the reason why, for years I had been saying,
no, it's like the extreme.
For years,
I did edible 4 times. I'm a drug addict.
Yeah, I had always said that I'm gonna. If I did anything, I would try, you know, marijuana. Like I always said that if I did anything, I would try that. And recently, in the last few years, I've been getting closer and closer to trying it because I have sleep issues. And you know, you keep on hearing like, just take a pull like this. That I'm telling you, that would help you. And I read articles and I asked the doctor about it, and you know, he gave me his opinion. Like I've asked like 3 or 4 doctors. Like every time been to the doctor for a checkup in the last few years. Like, what do you think about weed or whatever, marijuana, to help me sleep and stuff? And I got their input on it, and that's saying they didn't say it was bad, they didn't say it was good.
Does it help?
Said, hey, different. It works for different people. You can try it. Like, actually, like, the most scientific info I got about it was like, it can help you sleep, but it's not really the sleep you need, because your body in order to get that medical, benefits, the energy, the recovery sleep, the recovery benefits of sleep, improving, muscle growth and all that. Like, you need to go into REM sleep. And the problem with sleep when you're smoking weed, it will help you go to sleep, but your mind is still high, so you're not in REM.
Right.
But I was just getting so fed up. Like, I don't give a fuck what kind of sleep it is. I need some sleep.
So it was insomnia. You couldn't sleep at all. What would happen?
I would just be, I would be many nights. I would just be, and it was because of my comedy schedule. My life schedule.
What would a night be like? 2 hours of sleep, then you wake up the next day and like, this is it.
Sometimes, and then I would just fall out. Sometimes, then my body would just my body would just need sleep, and I would crash.
Yeah.
During the day or whatever, I'd be groggy. I wouldn't sleep at night. I'm coming home. The problem was, like, I'd come home at 12 o'clock one night, 1 o'clock one night, 4 o'clock one night. My body never knew when to go to sleep.
Yeah.
And some people could just fucking close, the lights and knock out. I couldn't, and it just threw my whole body's, sleep clock off, and I just had sleep problems, like a lot of people do. So I finally just got fed up during pandemic. And my boy had gave me a little like edible, like the Starburst thing. And he was like, take half of this and, it should help you. So I had it for like 2 weeks, scared like a fucking little girl. I didn't want to take the shit. And then finally one day it's like 2 a.m. I already know I'm not going to sleep tonight. So I said, fuck it. I took a little half of the shit. And I felt good. It did not put me to sleep, but it relaxed me. Yeah. It relaxed me so I could fall asleep. And I felt good. And I was like, wow, I'm going to do this again.
Yeah.
So like 2 nights later, I took the other half, same experience. I felt good. I was relaxed. And then, but now I didn't have that thing anymore. It was only a little piece. So I seen my boy again, and he gave me this other thing. And he was like, this is kind of strong. You know what I'm saying? Only take half. All right, cool. So one night I took half, even a little less than half. Bruh. Yo, can you hear the sirens?
Yeah, it's all good. It's a Dirtbag Podcast.
No, I'm asking you that because when I wanted to do the podcast.
Yeah, you can definitely hear it, yeah.
Is it crazy?
Yeah, I can hear it. I'm not fazed by none of that shit, you know what I mean?
No, okay. So if you were to hear that in another podcast, it's like whatever.
I wouldn't listen to that shit. I would unsubscribe immediately.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Nah, man, it's not that bad, but
okay, cool.
it should be addressed. I wouldn't just let it rock like that. Like,
that's what I'm saying. So like that's
close the fucking window.
Bro, you think my window's not closed? That shit comes through my fucking wall.
So I want to hear you get high story where you suck it dick after you pop that edible.
The second time I took the shit and I had the bad experience, the one that people go to the hospital. Huh?
What you paranoid?
Paranoid, bro. I was done. I thought so. I was dead. I thought I was dead.
Oh God!
It was so weird because like half of my brain knew that I was like, yo, don't worry, you just high. You ain't nothing wrong with you. Like, you high.
Poor guy.
And then the other half of my brain was like, yo, I was in the third dimension. I thought I was dead. I was never gonna wake up. I was bugging out. Like, it was scary, bro. I was just like, I couldn't move. I could only move my eyes. It was that, you ever heard that phrase like you were stuck?
Yeah. You physically couldn't move?
You're not a big smoker though, right?
Nah, I used to smoke, but I've been definitely high where
So
I
you know that
super
feeling
paranoid.
like I was stuck and I could
Yeah,
only open
so
my eyes and I'd be
with
like,
other drugs like ketamine, they say that you could get stuck in a K-hole, like in a hole, and you're like conscious, but your body can't move, and you see like, you know, you just can't move, and that shit
well,
sucks.
that was kind of me, man. I was just like, and I guess it's like there's nothing you could do about that. Just the weed just has to wear off. Like so now, like I know how people end up in the hospital sometimes, and the hospital's just like, yo, go home. Like there's nothing, you know what I mean? But
And then you got like a $25,000 medical bill.
yeah. So
For
like
brownies.
I had that experience, and I was like, yo, never
Scary.
again.
Yeah, that's scary,
Never
man.
again. I do not want to feel like that again. But I have, you know, dabbled. Cause my boy, you know, Jack Thriller.
Yeah.
You know, you ever heard of that? Matter of fact, they opened up. I was gonna hit you up the other day. They opened up a restaurant near you. The Stone Pizza.
Okay.
And like Jack has been working with them, and so like, you know, they sponsored my show. So like, I've had a slice of their pizza and wings, like, and they have soda. And like I've dabbled with that since then, and you know I've been okay.
Yeah, I like Jack Thriller. He got dope energy.
Yo, listen to the this you're gonna laugh. Listen to the Drink Champs last episode. It's Jadakiss and Jack.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I know you fuck with Jadakiss. Jadakiss is funny as hell, and Jack is funny. You know that. Yo, it's a funny ass episode.
I'm gonna check it out for sure. Jack Thriller.
So, yeah. So Roots, Public Enemy.
Oh, okay.
Illadelph, I believe. Illadelph.
You know the crazy thing is like so with the brand new being Roots and Public Enemy. See, this was a time where hip hop voices, and it felt good to fucking be well read. You know about your culture. Be proud of who you are. Yeah, it wasn't like drug induced. It was like I'm a street dude with street smarts, but I also have the intellect from books that I've read, and and I'm a student of life. But you know, a militant mind.
Listen, don't get me wrong. You know, I love Coogee Rap and all that, and like you know, you couldn't get more street than him.
Yeah, but you just get more from that music. It just lasts.
But that other music just spoke to me more. It is what it is. Maybe you know I wasn't a hood kid. I wasn't doing that kind of stuff, so that music didn't speak to me.
Yeah.
You know, but that De La Soul is another. They're one of my favorite. You know, groups.
Long Island too, from your home.
Long Island, man. That music just spoke to me.
Yeah. You know? De La has a lot of music that just makes me feel real good. I feel like I got a quilt over me. Like
and that wasn't even as much as like, you know, Black Power and all that stuff. It was just like, yeah, we're dope. We're different. We're individuals. You know, we. It just was good music. It just felt good.
But I know you're into that Black Power shit. I can see you walking around Harlem with a dashiki and no underwear. just a mad long dashiki, just chilling.
Hilarious.
Yo, so what's number? So that's number. Well, you got number 9 and 10.
Oh, that was 9 and 10. Okay.
Or we got 8, 9, and 10 because you got Public Enemy.
Yeah. So now
you got oh yeah. So we got 2 more.
2 more. All right.
Wait, time out. You got the Roots. You got Public Enemy. You got 3 more.
Okay. Now we're getting into like I don't want to get generic and say like Life or Death or you know like.
No, that's not generic. That's a classic album.
No, it is. But like
the sound effects in it.
Huh?
The sound effects of like Life After Death. Remember the sound effects like when you know the car double parked when he's telling that story. You know, like
I mean, that was his 2 albums. His 2 albums were complete works, man. They were dope. Reasonable Doubt is definitely one of my favorite albums.
Yeah.
But like I said, like that wasn't the music that really talked to me.
Yeah.
You know, like, but Reasonable Doubt definitely is. But I don't know. I don't think I want to put it up there. I'm trying to think of.
You weren't a big fan of Tupac.
No.
I love Tupac. I love Tupac before everyone else jumped on the bandwagon. I remember that. Like, people were turned off by his, media antics, spitting on the camera, the rape charges, all that stuff turned people off. And me included. I was like, this guy's an asshole.
Yeah, he was a bit of a clown.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but he was a bit of a clown. He was one of the first clout chasers.
I don't know, man. I heard. I think it was more than that. I wouldn't label him as a clout chaser. I think he was kind of torn, between like two worlds, and he was brilliant. And what happened was he was easily influenced by the current state he was at, and that was, he's getting these charges thrown at him. He shot at some cops, got away with that shit. There was so many things going on.
I will give you that. He was torn. He was torn.
He was 24, 23, 24, 25 years old, going through his charges. He was he saw a guy being beaten in the street and intervened. Then he got beat up by the cops, and like, he did some righteous shit. Like, these cops. There was another story where he was jaywalking. The cops hemmed him up. So he always had like this beef with cops. A cop pulled out a gun on him. He shot at a cop. Like, that was crazy.
I will give him this. Like, he was a young man torn between those worlds, as was I. Like, I talk all that, you see all those albums that I'm telling you, these Black Power, this, enlightened albums. At the same time, I'm running around the street with goons.
Yeah.
So, but the difference is, like, I'm not living my life in the public eye. I was able to walk that walk and learn those lessons. So he was torn between that and living that life in the public eye. So, like, and listen, I don't not like him. That's one of the reasons why I don't like him, actually. Not that I don't like him, but, like, it annoyed me that he had these dope songs, Dear Mama, and he came from that, Black Panther upbringing, and then he did those things, and I was just like, yo, what are you doing? Who are you?
Yeah. It was an odd thing. It was very much a dude who was like reacting on emotion and really fueled, like this overly charismatic and just react on emotion with a lot of things. But man, I mean, his music just like, I get goosebumps. The way he structured his words, it was like poetic. It was raw. It was like, like seeing a fire burn. And we're all made of contradictions. The thing is that it was like from mind to heart to paper. And then it was there. It was like, no, like, oh, I'm going to filter this. I'm going to think it out,
I will say this. He was one of the, like, you had no choice but to feel his music.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and as everyone during that time secretly wanted to be, he was like the most influential rapper. Like, everyone secretly wanted to be like him, and leaving that impression, the tattoos, rocking the bandanas. Like,
to this day,
it's
like,
crazy. It's crazy.
To this day, you see his influence in the. I will say this, I don't know why, because these two guys always go on together, hand in hand. But, like, he had more influence than Biggie. Like, he influenced rap probably more than anybody. Like, individually, like, people, acting like him and looking like him, and Biggie was definitely the better rapper, but his Tupac's influence, I think, is
the way he changed his levels and the way he, like, when we speak, sometimes it comes from, like, I don't know, it just came from somewhere deeper, when he hollered.
I always say this, like, when Tupac, when you heard Dear Mama, you're like, damn, man, that guy, he loves his mama, man. Yeah. But then when you heard, like, him, I'll make sure, my 4-4, make sure all your kids don't grow. Yeah. You're like, man, that dude is mad.
Yeah.
He's gonna hurt somebody. He does not like that guy.
Right.
I felt that.
Right. Yeah. So it was it definitely captured a recording of the times. And now a record is a record of the times. It doesn't define you as a whole. He would have probably been a totally different person from now, 20 years later, right? And it's crazy, but I think he did a great job with recording what he felt at that given time and giving it to you. And you make
I think
up
it's
what you want.
that's one of the saddest things about those guys being gone, besides them being gone, is that you never got to see their growth. Like, what would Tupac be right now? What would Biggie be right now? What would their catalog be? What would Big Pun have done?
Right. And it's weird. Like some of us stay stuck on people's past. Like some people were turned off by like Tupac's antics and all that. It was just so much going on. But that's the way I felt about Big Pun for a long time. As you know, he's Puerto Rican. He's from New York. I should be like, I love this dude. I really enjoyed.
Oh, you
his
didn't?
music.
You didn't rock with him?
I didn't. You know what I didn't like about him? I didn't like that he was so fucking fat. It annoyed me. I saw a person suffering from food addiction, and I couldn't get past that.
That is hilarious.
Yeah,
bro.
it annoyed me that he was just like
that affected you to not like his music.
that one. So I hated the fact that he was like so big because I felt like I was watching someone who was just addicted to food and wasn't. And there was, I'm sympathetic, but also that there was rumors and actual proof of him beating his wife. And I was never able to past that. Like it
so
kind
I
of
didn't
like
know. I did not know that. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think of him as that when I hear his music. But that to me, I did hear that, and like, but I heard that after.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't. You heard that during?
No, I heard it after. Maybe I'm just there's a bunch of.
Hold on, 1 second.
It's cool.
No, yeah, I was getting a call. Do you see that coming? Like when I get a call coming in, you don't see that.
It says Dino's iPhone.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, you know, but listen, I like his music. You know, I really do like his music. But those things, I don't know why they're highlighted. Something about my brain. I think of Big Pun. I think of seeing a YouTube video of him chasing his wife with a gun and her screaming. And
whoa! There's video.
Yeah, there's video of it. You can look it up. And it's like it's wild whack to see that violence towards like a loved one.
No, I did not know that. Wow, with a gun?
Yeah. He was like chasing her with a gun. He's not fat, just you know.
Yeah. Well, I definitely could see you.
Yeah, like it turned me up and it like influenced. But I don't always feel like that with certain things.
Well, you know what it is? I hit women. So
you know how I do.
You know, I hit women, so it's something about me that
I don't know why I thought your legs were crossed, but you saying that you hit women with your legs crossed, it would be more hilarious.
You just see the gun. That's all you see. It was the gun. You thought it was a leg.
But like someone saying like foul shit about women with their legs crossed is hilarious to me.
Yeah. I hit women, bro, smoking a pipe.
No, but like really crossed, like you don't have nuts crossed.
Like look at my vagina. I hit women.
Yeah, just like extra crossed.
Well, I don't know if I need to say this, but that was a joke, people.
Yeah, you got to say it.
Yeah.
Because my mother will be on your ass. So check this out. Yeah, so Tupac was like a flame, poetic, passionate, super influential, and all that shit going on. That definitely is like one of my favorite albums. All Eyes on Me.
Listen, you are not alone in that. So many people, he's their number one guy.
And give me one more.
Now this is where it's getting tough. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to choose. You know, Tribe Called Quest, De La Soul. I'm trying to see what. All right, you know what? I'll go with the first album, first rap album I ever had, and it's a story how I got this album. So the first rap album I ever had, Run DMC.
Really? All right.
Yeah, but that was not,
Legends, man, the legends.
Yeah, legends. But that was not the album that I wanted, right? So I remember, I don't know why, you remember weird things. So I remember to this day, it was wintertime, and my sister was going to the store with my mom, right? They were going, you ever remember the store? They were going to Caldor.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Right? They were going to Caldor, and I had
that type of shit.
Yeah, right. So I had like $8, right? And I gave it to my sister, and so this is why I knew I was always like, into comedic stuff. Like it was just I wanted Biz Markie's album.
The one with him, the cartoon drawing of him digging up his nose. Picking boogers.
What? Picking boogers was like amazing. I was just a kid, a silly kid. Everything was like that. I was just Biz Markie was funny. Yeah. And I loved rap, and I, loved funny things. And he had that album, Picking Boogers. It's like, hey mom, what's for dinner?
Yeah,
pick a winner. And I just thought that was like, I was a kid that like Airplane was hilarious too. All those like screwball comedies, and so I wanted Biz Markie's album. I said, I gave $8 to my sister. I said, get me Biz Markie's album. And so she goes to Caldor, and I don't know if this is a lie or whatever, but Biz Markie, they didn't have Biz Markie's album. She comes home with Run DMC. And I'm like, I didn't want this shit. I wanted Biz Markie, but I put that shit in the cassette deck and played that shit until the shit broke for months and months and months. So Run DMC is the first rap album I ever had, and it was a classic,
There's something to be said about holding a piece of artwork, right? A piece of, in that case, a piece of plastic and brown ribbon, and it's like, this is the source of what's gonna, this plastic cassette is gonna provide me with some good energy.
Yes.
And you
yes.
pop
and then
it
you
in.
take out the fucking foldable thing.
Yeah.
You read it. It got the shout outs.
And it's almost like, yeah, exactly. Like, but it's almost like the level of appreciation. Someone called it, that's inconvenient. But there's something about, oh shit, where's my CD? Where's my tape? I need to play it. You get it, you feel good again. Like, and you play it, right? Yeah. And you play
the cover,
it.
you physically had, the artwork had to be thoughtfully made, you know what I mean? And there was a budget, there was an artwork budget.
Yeah, man. So like when we listen to our music, we don't have that. We don't have the shout outs. Everything is at our immediate disposal. We're less inclined to listen to an entire album because we can just make up our playlist and we can put fucking emojis with fucking, a muscle arm and the workout playlist. But lately, what I've been doing, Dino, I've been listening to entire albums for my runs just to get that body of work. I want to feel like I'm in the studio with these motherfuckers.
I was in the car with my boy the other day and he put on, Black Thought has a new album, going back to the roots, and he had the Spotify shit, but he didn't pay for it. So it's like when you do that, it's just like it plays with up or whatever. So they want you to pay for it, and I was like, nah, I don't want to hear the album like that. I want to hear the album how Black Thought intended it to be heard.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I didn't realize this. A lot of times, there was an A&R or an executive producer that organized the music. They would say, this is going to go first. It wasn't always the artist.
Oh,
yeah. I knew somebody who worked with Steve Stout, who worked on Nas, and Steve Stout organized the album in chronological order.
Wow, that's dope. I got to give him props for that. Yeah,
and I believe he did most of Nas's layering,
Got you. I mean, that's got to be that particular. I'm sure a lot of artists made their album in that way that they wanted, like it was a story. But it's also cool to think about, an executive coming in and being like, having their input.
Yeah, it's like teamwork. So, one of my albums, I know this is more about you and your albums, but I want to...
No, I want to hear yours.
But it's crazy. I'm from New York, but it's like 50-50. A lot, like 5 of them are East Coast, 5 of them are West Coast. I think I know what you're going to say. It's Ice Cube's death certificate. Ice Cube's death certificate. If I'm not mistaken, that was the second album ever. I was in 5th grade, And during that time, the Gulf War, I believe, we were in the midst of the Gulf War. Bush was in office. And my mother was politically always watching the news or whatever, but I never heard politics or anger or a recording of the times from a guy who is seemingly older and cooler than me, but still within my age group. Does that make sense? So when I heard Steady Mobbin' by Ice Cube talking about street life and that beat, I was like, yo, what is this? And it was like the chorus was like of a woman singing, and I forget the actual hook, but it sounded soulful, but the actual lyrics sounded like, this is a dude who's angry. And then I listened to the album from beginning to end, and you want to talk about skits, and it was like, this is during the time when Rodney King was beaten and the cops got off. This during the time where Korean delis in LA would black kids around and their kids were getting shot. Like, what was going on now, Dino, was going on 25 years ago, and Ice Cube had something to say about it, and it was a voice to something I saw in my neighborhood.
Correct me if I'm wrong, was this song on that album? Because I remember this song, and it's definitely, you know, in that realm of thought. This song definitely, I loved it back then. Burn, Hollywood, burn.
No, I believe that was America's Most Wanted. I could be wrong. So this is this one had Steady Mobbin', Be True to the Game. Be True to the Game is about, you know, dudes, you know, coming out with a certain energy, but then conforming to make more money, selling out, you know.
Well, that's funny that song is about that. How do you feel about what people are saying about him now?
Oh man, I mean, I listened to it. Once again, I didn't want to just be react to what little snippets I got. I heard what he said, and I got to be honest with you. Part of my gut feeling is telling me he's a little bit out of touch, and he's just sitting on a mountain of cash. And honestly, his political endeavors are probably pushed by how much money is going to be taken away from him in taxes. That's what it feels like. Because when he says,
it could be.
he says, I met up with some people and we got a $5 billion platinum deal. What is a $5 million platinum deal?
Yeah.
And who are you to go over there and negotiate this shit? Like, I don't understand. So I need more information on that. And he's just going, well, the Democrats haven't really done it. When we met up with the Republicans, at least they were more willing. Who's we? Like, I never heard.
Well, I mean, I guess, I mean, the we is, I mean, so, you're right. Who, it's all we don't know. I do like, people are saying, like, why is Ice Cube speaking on behalf of us? Well, you're not doing it. I mean, if he should definitely
be doing it. He's a guy who's got a track record of like fighting for the community and all that.
Yeah, you know, people are acting like he doesn't have a history of that type of energy.
Yeah, right. But what I'm saying, so to my point, to answer your question real quickly, I just feel like I want more information. What he's doing, I don't think is wrong. I like that he's questioning it, both sides or whatever, but I just need to know more. And maybe it's my bad. Maybe I haven't done enough research on what he's done. But what I'm gathering from the little interviews or the live feeds that he's doing doesn't seem like enough. I just don't know enough. You know,
I saw, it's funny, like you see people put out these little, you know, factoids, and you're like, anybody could put out anything they want to push you towards their point of view. So I saw this one fact, you know, thing, one post or, you know, fact about, and it's obviously trying to push you towards like against Ice Cube. But this fact was like, so you know he has the big three, right? The basketball league.
No, I didn't know that.
So Ice Cube has this. It was very popular. It's called the Big Three, and it's basically a basketball league, a professional basketball league where they play 3-on-3.
Okay.
But it's old, so it's like ex-NBA players. It's professional dudes. And they go all across, you know, they play in the arenas and everything. But it's guys that you used to love to see, but they retired. You know what I mean? Like
3-on-3 ball, half-court game type shit.
Yeah, it was dope. It was fun. It was cool to watch. It would be in the summertime when the NBA is over, and you know, people gave people basketball to watch. And you love basketball, and you saw like, oh man, I used to love. We got guys.
I see Ewing or Clyde Frazier or some shit like that.
Yeah, but not that old. Guys that just retired.
Those motherfuckers are old.
Yeah, like dudes that literally could still be in the NBA or they left last year.
Got it.
Yeah, so they still got it, but you know, they don't. But but so his partner in that was this white guy, you know, big billionaire white guy who's best friends with Steve Bannon, who is Trump's, like, it's like a few degrees of separation of Ice Cube and Trump. You know what I mean? Like his business partner is best friends with Trump's best friend. Yeah. You know, does that mean that Ice Cube is with them, or it just means that that's just his business partner? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Yeah,
you know, who knows? I'll tell you this. I mean, I don't follow Cube like that anymore. But so he's getting all this. I don't mind him questioning both sides or whatever. But when he says, I'm getting more, it seems like from what I gather, he's getting more of a response and money from the public. Because what money is that? Where's that money at? I never heard of a platinum deal. Can you break that down, being that you are going to be the spokesperson for it? So none of that seems evident, you know?
I will say this, though. I don't understand people having, like, the passion to go against him. I'm like, give him the benefit of the doubt. Let him. Let's see what happens. It ain't taking nothing away from you. Like, who has the energy to go on the internet and be like, yo, fuck Ice Cube, man, you know, sell out? Like, who has the time?
It's an easy target. It's an easy, it's easy to respond to that. Meanwhile, they should be offended by 15 million other things that are directly affecting you. Like, they're doing it because he's a black entertainer. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're doing.
Or how about you try this? Go about your life. Do what you got to do for the movement, for the people. Sit back and watch before you jump out the window.
Exactly. It's a cult mentality. You know, it's a cult mentality. You know,
everybody wants the fucking opinion to be heard. Yeah. Like, no one wants to hear your opinion.
I mean, that's the one thing with these platforms. Not everyone deserves the platform.
No, shut up, man. No? Shut up.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yo, this is off topic, but you're a healthy dude. You fucks with water. Give me your favorite 5 top waters, because I love water. Yo, seriously, because if you say Avion, I'm gonna fucking smack the shit out of you.
Whoa!
Avion is
luckily, I wasn't going. Luckily, I don't want no beef with you. I was going Fiji. I don't have a top 5.
Fiji's very soft water. I like the way it feels on my palate.
Yeah, I'm a Fiji guy just because I feel it's like one of the most nothing to it. Just like I think it's real. I mean, once again, it's all marketing they can get me. I think Fiji is from Fiji to us.
Yeah.
You know? Like, for some reason, I think Poland Spring is not that. I think Poland Spring is from
Poland Spring tastes a little bit like the Poconos.
Yeah.
And there's some dirt bags from the Bronx who moved to the Poconos.
I think Poland Spring is turn the tap on and here's your Poland Spring. Like,
a little bit.
So,
but Poland Spring,
I don't get that much energy into water.
Oh man, I like my water, but I get annoyed.
I only drink water.
Yo, like Avion is annoying. It's a nice bottle. It got the mountains that pop out the plastic. It's a lot done, but it tastes like shit. And I got annoyed when Capadonna from Wu-Tang said, "I drink Avion water when my darts get published." I was like, really?
Yeah.
Do you really drink Avion water while your darts get published? And darts, for my people that don't know, it's songs, rap songs, darts, or verses.
You're a maniac. All right, so I obviously I'm not schooled on the water mathematics as you are. Tell me, put me on to the water guard.
Yo, first of all, our body is made up of like 80% water. A lot of people don't know that. You know, and you know, if you actually look at it, you know, our life should be lived like we're water, conform to it. Bruce Lee said that.
Peace. That's why we say we be flowing.
That's how we say we be flowing. You know what I'm saying? And like, water, like a plant, nourishes you. So you never knew that.
Peace.
No, but I like Essential. But I can't be dropping duck.
What's it called? Essential?
Yeah, Essential.
But isn't that so? Here's the thing. I wouldn't.
I don't know what alkaline is, but I know it tastes good, and it like
That's not
restores.
alkaline. That's what I heard is like, but that's made alkaline. That's like regular tap water, and then they enhance.
So whatever they're doing, man, I fucks with it.
But it's not coming. And I do understand what you're saying. Like you taste like the little metallicness of it or whatever.
I feel restored. I feel like okay.
Yeah, there is I believe it's a Netflix documentary or no, it's an episode on this Netflix show that's about like whatever. I'll forward it to you, but they had a water episode and there's this water expert and he said it might turn you off to that. Whatever it's saying, you do want that alkaline pH,
but you want it naturally.
Water, but you want it from the way it comes.
Oh shit!
And I listen. If this guy's telling the truth, I did, and that's one of them. Like it's funny that I always liked Fiji, but he was like Fiji is one of the good ones. Like it's just like it has that pH alkaline balance you want, but it's getting it from the rocks that it's flowing over or whatever.
It just tastes. It's a softer water.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It's something different about it. What else we got? What else are the only?
Oh, I do. Can I ask you my beard question?
Yeah.
So how do you feel about? So my beard is not as glorious and as free flowing as yours.
I mean, you don't have a king's beard.
I don't have a clean beard at all.
A king's beard.
You have a king's beard. I have a jester's beard.
Yeah, like my name could easily be Messiah. Like
yeah. Listen, let me tell you something. Listen. Let me big you up. You don't got to do it. I'm giving you the compliments that you want, okay? And you deserve. Let it happen naturally, okay? So you have a very glorious lion's mane. You have a king of the jungle beard. I do not have that. I have the runt of the little beard, right? So I kept on getting these ads on my Instagram as if like Instagram is looking at me knowing that my beard is raggedy and they're like, yo, we gonna get them with this ad. So it's this beard pen, right? And you could like, it's basically, I'm gonna keep it real, it's mascara or eyeliner, whatever it is. It's like, it's basically a woman's whatever mascara, I don't know, whatever it is, mascara or beard, same exact thing, and they probably scratch off the shit and put beard pen for men, right? It's literally like makeup shit, right? But like I keep on getting the ad, and I watch the ad, I'm like, man, that should look fresh. So the thing is, my beard only needs a touch, you know what I mean? And then it's like, and it works. So I didn't buy it.
But you're tempted. You want to.
I want to. It's in my Amazon. It's in my Amazon key. And
first of all, I want to ask, how was that shit popping up on your feed? Were you looking at things to get your beard to where you wanted to?
No.
That's weird. And real quick, and this is a whole other episode, but there's a Netflix documentary called The Social Dilemma.
Oh yeah, of course.
And they talk about that. Like, how do they know just by you talking about it?
They heard me say. They heard me talking to you right now.
Yeah, that's wild and scary.
How many times I've said something and then like it came up on my feed, bro?
Yeah, that shit is wild.
Yeah, it's scary.
Wild.
It's scary.
Listen, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. Every now and then, you see that? There's a little hole in the beard, and it's due to stress, right? There was a time in early 2000 when I was a plumber and I hated doing what I do. I used to get a lot of holes in my beard. I used to take my girlfriend at the time, her mascara, and paint the holes.
No, bro, that's what this.
That's what I did.
Is.
But it wasn't noticeable, you know. And if I had too much fun at the club, it would come out, then the hole would be back.
And honestly, there's like if you go to the barbershops now, they do it. They do it.
Yeah.
But I don't want it to be like.
The thing is, I've never seen you with like a full bit. Like you don't let it grow, so I don't know. It might be very noticeable because what's that, like a 5 o'clock shadow you got right now? How many days?
Right now it's just a little shadow. Yeah.
So like it might be noticeable. Like I think
let it grow a
full beard
little
is
more.
less noticeable. I don't know.
Yeah, I would let it grow a little more, and then just yo, Sean, I really don't think you would ever know because it's just I do got a line, but it would be just a tap, you know what I mean, to make it full.
The thing is, if someone calls you out on that shit, that's why you got a painted ass beard, bitch ass motherfucker.
For real. But I mean, listen, the only thing you could do is own it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think you pull the trigger on it, see how you feel. But don't let me hang out with you that night. Don't let me see you. I know a comic who came up to me one day and he was like, hey, I was thinking about getting the tattoo lineup. You know? And then basically you speckle the 5 o'clock shadow.
I know exactly. Somebody came up to me in the gym and thought I had that.
Yeah, it would look like yours, but yours is not that. It would look like that, except it would be yours. What I like about yours looks very natural. Like
the natural way.
Yeah.
These people get the line. Like,
yeah, he got the line.
Yeah.
He got the line.
No.
So I said, I'll never do that. I shitted on it a little bit. I was like, listen, man, whatever happens, man. I'm walking around with a half an index finger. I got an overbite. I'm bald. You know, I'm confident in my movement. I'm not doing that shit. He's like, oh, yeah, you know, I just thought about it. It's real expensive, but I don't know if I would do it. Yeah, I saw him 6 months later. That motherfucker had that shit. And he looks at me. He looks down. And then I look up at it. And I act like I didn't see it. Because I'm not cool with him like that. Like, if it was you, I'd be like, Dino, you got your beard done? Let me see it. Yeah. You know, I don't know him like that. But it doesn't look bad. The thing is, I know him, so I know.
Well, it's like anything. If you get it done right and a good job, and it makes it look natural and it looks fresh. You know, if you take the cheap route and go to some whack dude that just got out of beard forehead school, it's gonna look like shit. You know,
for sure. But I seen sometimes when it's OD. Sometimes it looks like they're using like a pilot.
No. I see that. I see. Yo, there's this dude on Instagram that I knew from. He was a DJ and I knew him, whatever. And he has his shit. You know what's funny about and then he switched. So he had his shit magic marker black.
So ugly.
Yo,
how do you deal with the rain?
Yo, the shit was like, and he had the shit perfectly, like,
it was like a Lego.
Yeah, and then, homeboy's like 55, and he had this perfect midnight black beard, and I always looked at this guy like, that part of it was like, you a goofball, like, this shit is, but recently, over the pandemic, I don't know who happened, or maybe he couldn't get to the beard guy, and, his whole beard is gray.
It looks better.
Magnificent.
Yeah, it's like own that fucking. That's why. That's like shit, wisdom.
It was like your whole beard. You went through that much trouble to get your whole beard.
Crazy.
Midnight, magic marker line, fresh.
Yeah.
But it looked like I joke about it. Sometimes on stage when a guy has a really beard like that. Like I've joked. Hold on, let me. You hear me? Yeah, I've joked about it. And I've been like, your beard's almost like just so perfect, even though it's yours. Like it looked like you could take it off and put it on the coffee table at night. You know what I mean? So that's what this guy, whatever. So that's you. Don't let me see you doing my crowd work shit, bro. But that's what this guy's beard looked like. It looked like a Mr. Potato Head piece.
Yeah.
And now his shit is glorious and all gray, and it's like, I just showed it to a chick and she was like, that shit looks way better. Like,
it's crazy. Like, dudes, cut this shit out. A lot of times you look fine gray. I know a dude who I used to train with, and the guy's like my age. He just grayed and he looks fine, great, but he dyes it. Now he looks like, some woman named Sophia who's 65 years old because he dyes it brown, but it turns like purple on the roots. And now, so the fade part grows out because obviously that's the first part, right? So he got white hair.
That's the thing you don't want. You don't want them to see this shit coming in all the time.
So now you're constantly maintaining this shit like, come on, dog. Yeah. So he got gray right here, then it's blue, and then it's brown on top. And and then
that's the thing to me. Is be age appropriate. You know what I mean? Like, listen.
Then he got the part. He got a part.
If I was 22, 5, 6, even like, 30 or whatever, and my shit was going gray, like I would think about dyeing it because like I'm not ready for that yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. My boy was like 22 already going gray, and he started to dye it, and like I understood that. Like, you don't want to look 40 when you're 22. But bro, I'm 40. I'm in my 40s, mid 40s. It's like I'm supposed to be gray.
Yeah. No, it's funny, man. It's like I just picture this dude. He looks like a distressed cockatiel. Like a cockatiel with like the feathers all fucked up. Like, I'm like, dogs.
Which is funny, I'm saying all that shit and I'm saying like, yeah, I'm supposed to be
meanwhile,
that.
you want to color your beard.
I'm seriously contemplating, but I want to color it. I just want to make it that. I just want that line. That's it.
Get the line, Pop.
I'm thinking about it. Yeah, thank you for not really crushing my dream.
No, I think it, if you like it and it gives you a little more beat to your step, like listen, if you were to come to me with some off the wall shit like Serge, I work out and shit, but I don't got the calf muscles I want. I want to get calf implants. I'm like, yo, Dino, you better not go to Dominican Republic. Stop it. Cut it out. Your legs are fine.
Hilarious.
But you're not coming. You're coming with a little bit. I get it.
Literally, I just want to tap it, man. But I just needed that boost, that cosign, man. So.
I'm right. Yeah, I can't wait till you get that shit and your birthday.
You're gonna pretend this conversation was never had.
Oh no, I'm gonna replay this shit. This is gonna be the sound bite.
But it's too late. So you co-signed it. It's too late.
Yeah, no, I did co-sign. I think it's fine, man. If it's like subtle, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Prepare to be shitted on if that shit is whack. Prepare to be shitted on if I see you with that line and it starts to rain, you're like, I gotta go. Or you don't want to sweat ever. I'm like, yo, Dino, you want to get a quick workout in? You'd be like, nah, I did my beard today. I'm like, what? Like it can't allow everyday life not to occur. Like it got to be sweat.
Well, that's one of the reasons why I thought like maybe not doing it, because I don't want to be like, yo, I can't go outside.
The girl and the shit is dripping on her like mascara. You know what I'm saying?
There's a girl I was dating. She was like, she was like, get it. Of course, a girl, like, you get it. But she was like, like use it for like if you have a photo shoot or some shit.
Yeah,
get your shit fresh.
So you're using it responsibly.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, all right, fuck it.
Yeah, that she got mad and she'd be like, you with your fake ass beard.
Of course. You ain't even got no full beard. Full beard.
You ain't even got a real beard, you bitch.
It was you. You farted, nigga.
That's hilarious.
Yo, don't tell the story. You save it.
I'm gonna save it. I think we did on the last episode. Yo, Dino,
shit. We're doing it on everything.
I could do that story over and over.
Yeah, I love it.
But yo, I'm gonna close this out. You are the fucking man. I want you to share with the people the Instagram, the podcast you got in the works, and anything else that you want to share, Papa.
Yeah. Well, I mean, really, ain't shit happening in this world right now for us.
COVID.
I wish I still was doing my show, but anyway, so all my social media is at Dino Vigo, very unique. That's my name, real name, DINO VIGO, at Dino Vigo, Facebook, Instagram. I think I got like 12 TikTok followers if you want to go up.
All right, cool. You on the TikTok tip?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly got like about 250, but anyway.
That's nice.
Whatever. You know how I got that? From doing one sketch with my homegirl, Daphne Springs. She's a comedian. I did a thing with her. She posted my shit. I literally had probably 6 followers. She posted this thing, the sketch we did, tagged it, 250 followers, maybe 300 from her posting that shit.
That's pretty fucking dope. But you gotta keep on doing that shit. Channel them guys on to the fucking rooftop shows when you do it again.
Exactly.
You got a dope rooftop show.
I'm actually gonna do some still more stuff. Anyway, at Dino Vigo, and our podcast coming soon. It's gonna be called the tentative name of the podcast is Bomb Stories, and it's just comedians coming on and just talking about their worst bomb stories, and not only comedians but just anybody in life that has a great bomb story. Whatever you do in life, you've bombed at it.
Word,
And,
because no one's exempt. We all fucking full of failures.
Exactly. And one of the comedians, when we get together, we don't talk about the successes. Like, that shit is whack. Like, that's not what we talk about. I mean, if you had a good set, you talk about it within that 24 hours. You know what I mean? Like, yo, I ripped last night. That show was dope. But like, after that, you don't keep that story. You don't remember that story.
Unless it's a supreme cornball.
Yeah, like, and you don't repeat that, you know?
Okay.
You talk about, I mean, listen, if I went on a podcast called Rip Stories, yeah, I could go in my brain and bring back some of my favorite shows, but that's not what we talk about. We talk about, bro, you remember that time when that motherfucker threw that bottle at your ass and we had to fight our way out the place. You know what I mean? Like, those are the stories that people want to hear.
You've had a bottle thrown at you? What was okay, that'd be the perfect way to exit out here. What was like the wildest like bomb you ever had?
Well, I'll just go
like wildest, like not just a bomb, because I've seen you eat shit on stage and it was fine. Yeah. Actually, I don't remember. I gotta say, I've seen, because, and I'm just thinking about the crew we used to run with: Chris Clark, Omar, John Moses. I seen them all like have rough sets as they see me, but I can't really remember you having a rough set. Like, I can't think of a time I see you on stage uncomfortable. So share one.
I mean, that's
like
just bad.
I want the one.
I could make all types of jokes, and because, you know, or brag and be that's because I'm so dope. I just think literally.
Nah, just because I never see you get up.
Exactly. It's just as luck would have it, you haven't seen it, but I got plenty of bad ones.
I want to hear like one that was like, that shit was fucking, ugh. But not necessarily bomb, like one that maybe turned violent. I want to hear a fight story.
Okay, well, violent, nothing that has happened. I've seen that. I've been privy. I've seen many of those. So with me, most recently, like a few months ago, before, literally just like a month maybe before, you know, the shutdown, this dude walked up on stage on me, but it didn't go there, but I was ready for it. He was, yo, of course you know where it was at. And,
yeah.
So I'm doing my thing, and there was a group of people just being, you know, young people, 1 a.m. show.
Oh.
The worst.
That could have went either way. That's weird. 1 a.m. someone walking on stage.
Yo, it was about to go, but his people grabbed him, and dude
he was serious.
Yo, and dude was not little, and so. But luckily, I was calm about it. You know, like when those moments happen, like time slows down for you. For me, like you kind of find out like how you deal with, because I've been in just a few situations where like you think like, yo, maybe you would panic, but like time just slowed up for me, and I was just like, okay, he's coming up to me. I got the advantage because I'm on stage. He's like, I got the upper ground or whatever, and I'm like, I could kick this dude. I got an escape route because he's coming from my left. You know, like if it got crazy, I could just bounce to the right off stage. But I'm like, I'm not gonna run, because I know people are with their phones ready to world star this shit. You know what I mean? Because they seen it building up. So it was a young crew, like probably was only 20 people in the crowd, but like I knew right here, dude has his phone out. Like I knew it. Right? So I'm like, okay, I can't be no punk right now because it's gonna be broadcast, you know. And then and literally when it was over, I just turned and saw homie with his phone. I was like, yo, really, bro? You was just gonna tape and not help me? And so that made the crowd laugh again. But regardless, so dude was walking up on stage. I had the mic stand. I'm like, yo, this is a weapon. You know what I mean? Like, I could just fucking rock him with that. And so I just had the whole thing played out. Luckily, his people got to him. But it started, they were just being rowdy. And I lived, you know, it was to the point, 1 a.m., like, you know, it was no really like me, you know, I was just like, can y'all shut the fuck up?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was just like, you know what, I'm not even going to like joke about it. And then literally like, they were like, there was some girls and some dudes. And like literally the girls, like most of them was just like, they knew they were drunk and talking. So they were like, yo, we sorry, you know? And then, and then kept, but they were drunk, so it didn't work. They said we sorry, but then started talking again.
Yeah.
And then
you know
like,
what,
so finally
man?
I'm like,
shame on that fucking spot, because you shouldn't have to deal with that shit.
yo, mind you, I'm in there the whole time. It's bubbling. And of course, like, no one's there, right? No one comes, no security comes to stop it.
Oh,
Where they
God, it's the worst.
Meanwhile, they shouldn't even been let in.
Right.
You know? So then, like, I guess it was one
scream that
straw.
shit.
And I did come, I said something to him again, you know, basically like, yo, what are you doing? Like, you know, like, you're ruining the show. People can't, you know, I just let them have it without being mean, but just like, yo, leave. If you don't want to be here, leave. You know, if you want to talk, you want to have a conversation, go outside, it's fine. You know what I mean? Like, well, cool, go outside. So, like, he just felt like the spotlight was on him. And obviously he was drunk. He had the juice in him. There was some girls there. So he got up and he took, and they were right close to the stage anyway. So he came at me, man. Came onto the stage. He took a step onto the stage. And then, so like I said, I just braced for it. And, but his people was like, yo, what are you doing? And then they grabbed him.
Yeah,
and then, so.
Yeah,
that was
man.
that. And
Yeah,
then,
so, like I saw recently, Big J Okerson, he was out.
saw that.
Yeah, and the guy pulled while he's on stage on a makeshift stage, pulled his legs off to the, you know, it was outdoors, like a sandy.
It was crazy.
Yeah, he could have broke his neck. That could have been
Yo,
super
he could have
fucking.
really been hurt, bro.
Yeah. So that dude was super drunk, big dude too, you know. But you know, like these are the
Yo,
shit
who
that.
the fuck thought comedy was a contact sport, bro?
I know, man. Shit goes down like that sometimes, man.
Yeah, but you know, that being said, yo, you just Google comedian gets into a fight and like there's
a few of
countless stories. But and before that, one time, like same thing within this year. This wasn't me, but it's the footage is out there. Like, who was on stage? I forgot. Was it Ken Boyd? I forgot who it was on stage, but like it was like it was like a little melee real quick in the spot.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I mean, this shit goes down like that, and this, you know, it's.
You ever got approached?
Yeah, in Newburgh, in like the worst part of New York. But the guy was. Yeah. It was a wild area. It was, you know, it was a club that was. You know, they had the church chairs from across the street. The producer said, yo, if you need to smoke or do anything, you know, make sure I go with you because there's a lot of stick-up kids out here. We heard gunshots in the midst of the night. I'm on stage. I opened up. The guy comes on. He said, what you said about my girlfriend? Like when I opened up the show, like when I started my set. And I was like, yeah, I backed up and he said, no, I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with you. You mad funny. And I got off set. But I felt like he was serious. But then he saw that he changed his mind. It was weak. Yeah. And it was early in my set. But, you know, that was, you know, as far as someone going on stage, you know, but people have
I think, like, not for nothing, we're the type of people who, number one, like, we come from that a little bit. Like, not that I'm that guy, but, like, I know it. Yeah,
people sense the energy. They sense that it's not an easy, like, you know, it's not someone's going to roll over. There's some guys who I feel are more inclined to getting approached like that. Like, I got to be honest with you. I've been doing comedy for years, and I can name two times. And that guy was playful. Like, that was, because it became weird.
It's several factors. Number one, we don't really look like chumps. Yeah. And then,
but number also how you react to it initially, like if you're.
And then also, we don't do that. We don't make people want to do that. Like I don't really like. Even when I'm doing, if I gotta go at somebody, like there's a way to do it for me, like where like it's like love. You know what I mean? Or like even if I get, and I've known the times when I got a little mad and I was like, oh yeah, that was me. I lost it. You know what I mean? Like for the most part. I don't give that energy for someone to want. I'm really good at like diffusing shit. And then if it really is that crazy once in a while, like, you know, and I have gotten aggressive, like they kind of listen to me.
Right.
So
that's a skill too, because not everyone has that. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, man, I appreciate you. We're on the 2-hour mark.
Yeah, I lost you a little bit.
I said, we're at the 2-hour mark. This is about to cut off.
Oh yeah, okay, cool. Listen, man, this was a pleasure.
I appreciate you, man. Stay up, and we'll be in contact sooner than later.
Yeah. Let me know when you post it, and I'll throw it out there, man. Peace to the DBS podcast world, man. Keep supporting my bros podcast, man, and check for mine coming very, very soon, man.
I appreciate you, Dino. Peace. One love, God.
Peace, King.